Hi, Broken Arrow. It's Monday. I hope your day is going well so far. The events of the last week have made all of us take a hard look at the sin of racism. Racism is as old as people, and Jesus addressed racism in one of his most famous parables. In the 10th chapter of the Gospel of Luke, we read that Jesus was teaching the lesson on love of neighbor, when a man in the crowd approached Jesus and really apparently wanted to justify his own opinions and asked Jesus to define for him who qualified as a neighbor. Instead of giving a definition, Jesus told a story, a parable. And the story that Jesus told was a man traveling a dangerous road who was attacked by bandits, who was robbed and beaten and left for dead. As the man lay there in agony, a Jewish priest came by and saw the man lying there in the ditch and just kept walking, decided to not even stop. A little while later, a Levite, another professional religious worker in the Jewish temple system, came by, and he too decided to not stop. He just kept on walking. A little while after that, a Samaritan came by, and he saw the injured man. He stopped. He came to offer aid. He bound up the man's wounds. He put him on his own donkey. He took him to the nearest inn. He paid for his care. He paid for his medicine. Now, the impact of this story, the story that's often referred to as the parable of the Good Samaritan, the impact is really lost on us today because we don't think about the fact that the Jews, which made up Jesus' audience, the Jews hated Samaritans because of racial prejudice and bigotry. The Jews thought the Samaritans were half-breeds. They thought they were an inferior race. So when Jesus made a Samaritan the hero of the story, his Jewish audience was caught off guard. When Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told this story in his sermon, "I've Been to the Mountaintop," he referred to the Samaritan simply as a man of a different race. At the conclusion of the parable, Jesus turned to the man who'd asked the question, who'd asked for the definition of a neighbor, and Jesus said, "Of the three men in my story, which one was a neighbor?" Apparently, the man couldn't bring himself to say the Samaritan, so he simply mumbled, "The one who showed mercy." And Jesus said, "You're correct. Now go and do the same." Jesus made it abundantly clear that his command to love one's neighbor includes everyone. And that means everyone with a capital E. We remember that when we're told to love our neighbor, that love is not primarily an emotion. Love is how we treat each other. Love is a verb. It's an action. I hope you have a great week. And remember, if you have kids or grandkids, please sign them up today for our virtual Vacation Bible School. Go to our website, fumcba.org. And remember, God is good all the time.